That's all we can do, folks. Just take a breath. It's been a wild day in Warriors land. If you were with us for the live stream on Digest Media, Warriors Digest, thank you so much. We're going to recap the news. CP3 gone and has signed with his team. It literally broke a minute ago before it recorded. Klay gone. We don't know where he's going yet. We're going to break down these moves, what it means for the Warriors, and other NBA offseason moves and what's happening, so you're up to date on Warriors and the NBA. Randy Silver here, Warriors Digest. Thank you for being with us. If you're not, it means so much for you to subscribe, support the channel, and you're not going to miss live streams, daily episodes, hourly episodes at this point. Summer League is coming up. Olympics is coming up. So much more. All right, let's get into it. Biggest move. First move of the day. Golden State is waiving Chris Paul. $30 million guaranteed. Not happening. This broke at like 5:30 p.m., 5:25 p.m., a half hour before free agency started at 6 p.m. Eastern. We went on the live stream, and this was the first news we went on. And this, we kind of knew was happening. When Paul George said he wasn't opting into his contract with the Clippers, there's no more reason for the Warriors to bring in Chris Paul. It was going to be a trade chip to get him to Clippers land, and we get Paul George because we had to match Paul George's $49 million salary. With Paul George opting out and doing his own thing, we could not match his. We could not sign him in free agency. We don't have enough salary cap to be able to make that happen. So there really was no need in terms of Chris Paul's $30 million contract anymore, and you're not picking that up to have him play at $30 million as a backup point guard. Klay officially departing the Warriors, free agent. We could still mend fences apparently and bring him back. I don't think it's going to happen. Sign and trade is more of an option. Why would they sign and trade? One, this helps the Warriors recoup some type of assets back. And two, maybe he wants to go to a team that doesn't have draft capital doesn't have salary cap to sign him. Or B, he wants to go to a team that has salary cap space, but not enough to get to what he thinks his contract is deserved. As a result, sign and trade. A couple teams we talked about in the live stream. I'm not going to go super deep into it. We've talked about it a bunch already on other episodes and on the live stream. You can check that out. Lakers, they wanted to potentially give up Rui or D'Angelo Russell. Could come back for Klay. That would work. LeBron is not picking up his option, so he's not a free agent. He will re-sign with the Lakers, of course. That's 100% going to happen. But if he takes enough of a salary cut, the Lakers can have the mid-level taxpayer exception, meaning they can offer $12.5 million, which Klay could take. If LeBron doesn't sign for too low of money, it's too high, then it's only $5 million, which obviously Klay will not take. So Klay could take $12 million to go to Dallas or Lakers. Dallas is the same situation, which you know, maybe you don't, first time here, is half the money Golden State offered him last year. 2 years, $48 million. He could take half of that to go to a different team. Orlando has draft capital for Klay. However, they just made a massive signing, the same type of player as Klay. We're going to break it down for you who that is in a moment. So I think Orlando is out of the Klay sweepstakes. Philly has draft capital and has the salary cap to sign him. They could be a trade. Clippers, they could do a trade. So it's out there. And those are the teams that Klay reportedly speaking to. Chris Paul signed a one-year deal. That's the breaking news with the San Antonio Spurs. He's going to go play with Wemby. So he left. He got cut by the Warriors, and now he's going to go play with Wemby in San Antonio. Thoughts for maybe he stays in LA. 1 year, $11 million is a great deal for him. 1/3 of what he would have got with the Warriors if they brought his contract in. Why? One, Spurs, trending up. Not a good team this year, but you get to play with Wemby, a generational talent. He will be a focal point of the offense, could become the starting point guard again, and he will get to work with Wemby, make him a better player, which we know Chris loves to be a coach. 2, you play under Popovich, who doesn't want to play under Coach Pop. 3, Spurs culture and organization. 4, Texas, no income tax, makes a lot of that money. The only downfall for him is his family lives in LA, and he loved being able to fly from LA to San Francisco to be with his family, and then he would fly up in the morning for work, aka go to basketball games, practice and whatnot. So that won't be as easy. He'll have to be way more. But that's a good deal for San Antonio. Get someone who is a proven veteran, can train up Wemby, a 1-year deal, so it's not going to hold salary cap in the future. And Chris Paul gets to prove himself in San Antonio. Clippers have announced that Paul George has decided to sign with another team. Sixers are expected as leading suitor. We reported like 4 or 5 days ago, we heard that Philly was out. Apparently that was wrong, and this happens in free agency. They're back. Clippers met with Paul George's agent. They were not able to come to financial terms, and he is now either going to be a Magic or a Sixer. The two teams really with serious salary cap to make it happen. Odds are Sixers, it'll be him, Maxey, and Embiid. If they're healthy, they should easily make the Eastern Conference Finals. If they don't, but now you got Celtics, champions. Knicks got much better. Hey, thumbs up. Got much better this offseason with the Bridges trade. And then they got Anobi to come back. And now you got Philly potentially getting Embiid, Maxey, and Paul George. That's a big three. So for Clippers, what are they going to do then? 2 years, $70 million, James Harden. $35 million per year, James Harden, former MVP. They still have some room because Paul George opted out his $48 million. So now they have still about $13 million there that they could use if they wanted to. Maybe that's a Klay Thompson, excuse me. It's been a long day. I've done a lot of videos. Maybe it's a Klay Thompson. Maybe it's not. They could go get some other pieces. Russell Westbrook, his $4 million, they're looking to try to potentially trade that as well. So Clippers are not done. As we talked about already, Shams, 13 iconic seasons together. Klay is departing and Warriors looking for a sign and trade. Klay, thank you for your service. I know it didn't end the way we hoped. Maybe it still does. Who knows? But I would love to have seen you as a one-lifer team with the Warriors. It did not work out. You brought 4 championships. You brought charisma on the court, off the court, community service, what you did for the Bay, what you've done for the basketball community, your ups and downs. We saw you grow from someone coming out of Washington State as a 21-year-old, 20 college kid into a man, and just thank you, thank you, thank you. A center we talked about potentially getting, Andre Drummond, is going to the Sixers, 2 years, $10 million. He will be backing up Joel Embiid, and you know Joel had a couple of those injuries this season, the knee, so they need a backup just in case something happens, and he's a very similar player in terms of big physical size. Off the board. Now, hopefully that means the Warriors, could we get another center like Jonas Valanciunas? Nope. He's going to the Wizards of all teams, what you didn't expect. And he got the bag with the Wizards. 3 years, $30 million. $10 million per year. Jonas Valanciunas is going to the Wizards. I love that for him. Go get the bag. I hate that for the Warriors because we really could have used him as a 1-2 center combo. I also do like if you're a competitive team. He's not going to a team that's really good, so you don't have to worry about him in the playoffs. One team you're going to have to worry about is the Magic. KCP, 3-year, $66 million deal with the Magic. $22 million per year, getting his bag. 2-time champion, one with the Lakers, one with the Nuggets. Talks for him maybe potentially staying in Denver, Philly, but no. Magic had a lot of money to spend. They had over $60 million in salary cap, or like $50-60 million. 22 of that per year is going to KCP. They needed shooting, they needed length on the wings, and they got that for that young team who was in the playoffs for the first time in a long time, lost to the Cavs. They got better today with KCP. It sucks though. Warriors could have really used his shooting. Eric Gordon, another shooter, is signing with the Sixers. So you can see Sixers are putting a shooter around Embiid. Again, they got a backup guard. A trade that was proposed to the Warriors apparently. Bulls tried to put a package together involving Zach LaVine. They wanted Chris Paul or Wiggins. The Warriors, from how explained to me, the Warriors, they didn't feel it was adequate amount of deal structure, so they said no, and they let Chris Paul go. Mike Dunleavy then called Chris Paul and let him know that he would become a free agent. We talked about this on the live stream. It would be cool to have Zach LaVine. He's a great scorer, proven second person, but he's due like $80 million the next 2 years, and he's injury prone. It's too much of a risk. So we talked about this leading up into today. GP2 exercises option. He's a Warrior. We picked up Looney's full contract, so it's $8 million. Then you got $30 million contract for Chris Paul that we pushed it today, and we let him go. We did not tender Lester Quiones. So now, and Thompson left. So we are pretty thin. Klay Thompson reportedly has shared his cordial goodbyes with some high-ranking officials. I mean, I'd love to see cordial because it sounded like they were not talking for a while. Klay is looking to talk to the Mavericks, Lakers, Clippers, and 76ers, as I said, and we're going to keep you up to date on that. When we know any news, you know where to find it, Warriors Digest. So take away Chris Paul's $30 million. Klay Thompson's off this list as well. Add in Lindy, and that's basically your team. So right now our salary is around 144, 145. The second apron is actually 188 million. First apron is 177, and then the committed salary is still 174. A little bit now because Chris Paul is gone. 144. Tax threshold is 170. So we've been using that every day here in Warriors Digest, and now it's gone. And so is Klay. Moment of silence for the trio: Steph, Dre, and Klay. We put it in our live chat. Over 100 people responded. Where does that trio rank of best trios all time in the NBA? Fair enough. Bias. Some Warriors chat. They had him over 40% saying top 3 trio of all time. It's hard to argue when you win 4 championships. Obviously, you got the Celtics in the 60s. You got the Lakers, Celtics in the 70s and 80s. Or excuse me, not the Lakers in the 70s, in the 80s. You got the Lakers in the 2000s, but not really a trio. It was more of a duo. So it was hard to compete. Recency bias, says Steph, Dre, and Klay, best trio, top 3 trio. And it's a sad day as a Warriors fan, as an NBA fan, to not see Klay stay with the Warriors, and he's doing what is best for him, and we have to respect that. And we got to trust in Mike Dunleavy, Joe Lacob, Steve Kerr. They know what they're doing. So comment your thoughts. I know a lot of you probably say, I cannot trust them. I don't believe. But, hey, that's what fandom is. Through the thick and thin, you stay with your team. And I'm sticking with the Warriors, and we're going to see what they do in the next couple of days of free agency. Who knows if another trade's coming with Wiggins' contract, things like that. But you know, on Warriors Digest, we'll have all that for you. And we're going to have much more around Summer League, much more around the Olympics with Steph and Steve Kerr, much more with the regular season coming next season, of course, and everything in between. So it means a lot if you subscribe, support me, support the Digest channel, Warriors Digest, and you'll be notified when new videos come out daily. It's been a day, folks. Randy Silver signing out.